Hey, I made this video because some of you guys are still having trouble with making a graph. Some of the tools are not working, some of them are confusing. I'm going to walk you step by step through this. Hopefully this will help make it easier. The first thing I need you to do is make sure that you're signed on to your csd.org's account on Google and signed out of every other one. So the only one you should see up here is this one. If you're signed into any other one, it can cause problems. Then I want you to come here and I want you to click on Google Sheets. And I want you to make a new Google Sheet. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on blank Google Sheet. And then you need to go ahead and title your sheet, and you need to enter your data. So you're just going to type in your data table here. So I'm going to have you guys pause this, make sure you get your data typed in here, and then I'll walk you through the next steps. All right, you should have typed your data in. My data is wrong. You do not want my data. If you have my data, it's wrong. You can't get 6,000 on that simulation. It doesn't work. Okay, so this is just example numbers to show you how to do it. I do not want you to copy this information. All right, so how do I make my graph? I'm going to go ahead and click here in this upper left-hand corner. This is going to highlight all of my data. Then I'm going to come up here to where it says Insert. I'm going to click on Insert. I'm going to go down and select Chart. When I do this, it's going to make a graph. This graph is not the graph I want. All this is doing is it's showing kind of basically what's going on. So then I want you to come over here and we're going to select a scatter plot. Okay, and now it's looking more like what I want, but there's still some things that are missing. So I want you to go ahead and click on here. You need to customize because you can see, although I have my data taking up more than 50% of the graph, I do not have a title. I do not have axis labels. I have intervals, so that's good. I haven't labeled my units, right? My scale is good, so I need to add those labels. So how do I do that? I'm going to click here where it says chart and axis titles. I'm going to go ahead and do a chart title, the effect of, right? Okay, and you'll fill in your independent and dependent variable. Then I'm going to go ahead and select horizontal axis label. That's the one that's going to go down here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put in my independent variable. Do I want you to write IV? No, I want you to write what the IV is. I also want you to make sure that you have your units. All right, I'm going to do the same thing on my vertical axes. And I'm going to write DV. Do I want you to write DV? No, I want you to write what the DV is. All right, when you've done all that, you can see that you have quite a few of these series. So if we look at series, you can decide if you want to keep them all. If you've done an average, okay, the best thing to do, we're going to be in setup, I'm sorry. If you've done an average, the best thing to do is just leave the average. So if I come here, I can remove trial 1, I can remove trial 2, I can remove trial 3, okay, and then I have it there. It's okay if you want to leave them all. But if you've gone to the trouble to doing an average, it is the best line, and I would recommend using all that. The last thing you may want to do is maybe add a legend, okay? And you can go ahead and put the position. I would recommend doing it inside, otherwise it's not going to show up. Okay, so I've got my legend there. Tells me what I'm graphing. Okay, the only thing we might want to add is a trend line. We might want to draw our trend line. Remember, a trend line is not connecting the dots. It is giving an idea of what the data is doing algebraically. So to add a trend line, we're going to go here. All right, to add a trend line, we're going to go here to series. We're going to click on it. We're going to scroll down and we're just going to click on trend line. And then you can see, because my data is not real data, that my trend line perfectly fits my dots. That's because I made it up. Yours will not look exactly like that. Last step, how do I get this in my lab, in my document? What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it. Okay, copy chart. Then you're going to come over to your fabulous Google Drive. Okay, and remember, we're going to search for PhotoSim. And there's mine. Open it up. I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to do a Control or Command V. And you can either link to the spreadsheet or not. I don't care which one you do. I'm going to leave my linked, and there you can see my graph is popped into my fabulous lab that I am then going to submit on Canvas. If you have any questions, please, please, please send me an email.